Hello everyone, my name is Jack Edwards. Welcome back to my silly little YouTube channel with another silly little video. Today we have another installment of my celebrity book club because apparently celebrities are no longer allowed to enjoy books without me psychoanalyzing them. And the thing is, in the words of Bruno Mars and Travie McCoy, I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad. And when I think billionaire, who springs to mind? Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Kylie freaking Jenner. Kylie is a very impressive person. Not only did she become the youngest self-made billionaire, she also redefined the term self-made, so it now includes generational wealth and fame. That was mean, sorry. But since I can't have Kylie Jenner's bank balance, I thought I would have her bookshelf instead. And so this week, I'm going to be reading every book that Kylie Jenner has recommended. And hopefully it gives me that billionaire state of mind, you know? That would all be quite lovely. Kylie, you can keep the kids. Write me out of that narrative, thank you. But these are the books that Kylie Jenner has recommended. Two of them are actually by the same author, which is interesting, unless I hate the first one. And they are all kind of self-help vibes, which, as you know, is not the worst thing in the world for me because myself needs some help. Maybe Kylie Jenner is coming to my rescue and let's go and read them. Okay, so the first book that I read on Kylie Jenner's recommendation is The 4 Agreements, and I rated this a solid 2 stars. So, just like Kylie's firstborn, we're off to a stormy start. This was just dumb. Firstly, because the 4 rules are explained on the inside cover. Talk about a spoiler alert, geez. And then the rest of the book just over-explains them with really flimsy evidence. And if you are gonna read this, make sure you've got some syrup, because this is mostly just waffle. Because anyone with a shred of critical thinking skills could see through this like a glass screen. I'm gonna need you guys to make one agreement with me. Not 4, just 1. Don't waste your hard-earned cash on this book, please. And I'll tell you why. So basically, this is meant to be a roadmap to enlightenment and freedom, but it's really just a car crash. And the 4 rules are basically, be impeccable with your word. So basically, everything you say should be said with integrity. You shouldn't put other people down or even yourself down. My self-deprecating humor could never. And then the next rule is don't take anything personally. So you should be immune to what other people think of you. Probably quite a useful tip if you're a Kardashian Jenner. Don't make assumptions. Wow, YouTube assumptions videos are cancelled. And the final rule is always do your best. Whatever circumstance you're in, you should always just do your best, and that's enough. Right, so those 4 things make sense. But then the author, Don Miguel Ruiz, just fumbles the bag because he explains them so badly. His explanation for bad things happening in life is mostly down to like black magic and evil spells that people cast on you. And so, for example, if someone tells you that you're ugly, then you might start to believe it in your own head. But then, he suggests that if someone tells you that your skin looks cancerous, you will start to believe your skin is cancerous to the extent that you will develop cancer. Huh? Let's just cha-cha slide and take it back now, y'all. Because what are you talking about? What are you saying? Do you genuinely believe the shit that is coming out of your mouth right now? Surely not. I am baffled. And I can't believe this is real. He basically says, take the example of Hitler. He sent out all those seeds of fear and they grew very strong and beautifully achieved massive destruction. Firstly, beautifully? Is that a word that we would use to describe the Holocaust? Get yourself a thesaurus, get yourself on Google and find a synonym. Find a different word. Why would you use beautifully? Anyway, that's not even the main point here. Hitler didn't just send out seeds of fear like some evil Alan Titchmarsh. You cannot just oversimplify mass genocide to suit your argument. And it's kind of ironic that it tells you to be impeccable with your words when the author is so terrible with his. He also argues that the perfect human is a toddler because they haven't basically been corrupted by the world yet, but toddlers shit themselves constantly. That's not a perfect person. When toddlers can cook their own dinner, then we'll talk, then we'll chat. Most of this book is mostly just depressing because he says hell is all around us. Bad news, we're already in hell. And sort of argues that you should just do whatever you want to do because this is already hell. The world is already hell. But like, actions do have consequences. I don't think we should be saying to people, just do whatever, as if no one but yourself actually matters, because they do. And so my conclusion here is that if you follow everything this book tells you to do, you will be insufferable. You will be a dickhead. And I don't want that for you. So I would not recommend this book. And I can't believe that Kylie Jenner did. Before we carry on with the rest of the video, I just wanted to let you know that today's video is very kindly sponsored by BetterHelp. And BetterHelp, that's better H-E-L-P, is an affordable way to get online counseling. So if there are things right now that are disrupting your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, and you think counseling could be the way to solve that, then BetterHelp want to help you. And they want you to be living your best life again, which I'm here for. It's important to note that this isn't a crisis line, this is professional counselling available online. It's super secure, BetterHelp will assess your needs and then match you with a licensed professional therapist. And because it's all done online, it is available worldwide. And you can log in anytime and send your counsellor a message. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, and you can schedule weekly video calls or phone sessions, whichever one makes you feel more comfortable. And the best part is, if you visit betterhelp.com/Edwards, you can get 10% off your first month on BetterHelp. So that's betterhelp.com/Edwards. I say this all the time, but talking about mental health is so important, and you can join a million other people over on BetterHelp who are seeking help from licensed professional therapists. I'll leave the link down below. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video, and on with the video. Okay, this is Many Lives, Many Masters, the first of 2 books by Dr. Brian Weiss? I tell you what, if his surname is Wise, it's ironic because there is no wisdom in this damn book. I think I lost brain cells reading this because it's just ridiculous. It was all a lie, guys. It was all a lie. Because Dr. Brian is a psychiatrist who claims that he can put his clients into a hypnotic state that makes them be able to travel back to their past lives. And he basically has this one client called Catherine, who under his supervision goes back to her many lives and many masters. But she's very lucid and she tells him what she's seeing and experiencing in those many different lives. And this ultimately unlocks truth about her life. And listen, this would have been great as a fictional book, which is what it is. But instead, this is branded as non-fiction, as absolute fact, with no evidence to back it up. Dr. Brian genuinely thinks you're a freaking idiot and you will believe anything he says because he has doctor in front of his name. Firstly, when his client goes back to her previous lives, she more often than not knows her exact location, her name, and her family members. So if this was true, there would literally be historical records of these people actually existing. And some of these lives are recent enough to be on record, like in the 18th century. We could fact check that. You could easily include scientific, empirical evidence to back up these claims, but he doesn't. And you know why? Because it's all a lie. Do you see what he did there? It's a scam. If proving that these people really existed is relatively easy to do, why would you not do it? That's suspicious. That's weird. Secondly, sometimes his client goes back to previous lives and knows the exact year that she is in. He says to her, "What year is it?" And she's like, 746 BC. How would you know? How would you know? They weren't measuring dates in BC back then. BC, before Christ. Christ hadn't happened yet. Thirdly, no, I'm not done. It just becomes a farce at this point because Catherine then gains psychic powers. Her dad is a bit of a non-believer because he's the only sane person in this whole book. And he's like, okay, Catherine, if you can predict the future, let's go to a race and you should predict who's gonna win. And she does. And again, I'd like to bring to your attention how easy that would be to prove. Get it on camera, get it on video. Why not predict the lottery numbers or tell us when David Attenborough's gonna die so we can all stop worrying and use your skills for good use? I wouldn't be as annoyed as I am if this hadn't sold 1.5 million copies, because the audacity to charge money for this as non-fiction upsets me so much. And Dr. Brian claims he didn't need physical evidence because he could feel it in his bones that she was telling the truth. Imagine going for a checkup at the doctor's and they say, we're not going to use the stethoscope this time because I can feel it in my bones that you're fine. And it's also annoying because he just suggests that if you don't believe what he's saying, then you're a non-believer. You're behind the times. But like, you are lying, sir! And not even subtly. I'm surprised this is even allowed to be printed. So this book was a 1-star review from me. Oops. And that is simply because I didn't have the option to give it 0. It honestly would have been fun if it had been branded as fiction, but it wasn't, and so it gets the lowest rating possible from me. Can't wait to read his next book. So, I'll see you then. So I finished the other book that Dr. Brian terrorized the earth with. This one is called Only Love Is Real, and I'll tell you what else is real: capitalism. Because this is just another money-making ploy off the back of the first one. I have the same opinion towards both because it's the same BS with a different cover and a different title. Except this one focuses on 2 people instead of 1. It's the remix, and we just hear these repetitive, really formulaic stories of them going back to their previous lives. And I've got to say, I am not against the idea and the concept of reincarnation, like at all. I don't have a strong opinion on this. What I do have a strong opinion on is how this is executed, because it's bad and it made me want to be executed. The first one at least made good fiction. This is just boring. And yet again, the evidence this book provides is about as thin as Kylie swimwear. That's right, we've all seen those TikToks. Kylie swimwear was transparent. The way that the 2 books sort of differ is that in this particular book, Dr. Brian has these 2 different clients and just decides to do psychiatric Tinder because he realizes that each of these people have been in each other's previous lives. What a coinky-dink! Their former selves pop up in each other's lives every now and then, and that means that it's destiny that they will meet each other again and be soul companions in this lifetime. Which, to be honest, is a really nice idea, and I would love to get behind this if there was evidence! But it isn't. It's about as artificial and fake as a Kardashian Christmas card. I just am done with this. I'm so done. To save you the struggle of having to get through this, I'll just tell you that the 2 people do end up finding each other. And so I guess the conclusion is the people who you're meant to find in your life will eventually find you, and you've loved each other across generations, across centuries. It's quite nice. That's quite a nice message, to be fair. But again, this was a 1-star review. So I'm upset, you're upset, Dr. Brian Wise is laughing all the way to the bank, and I'm very pleased that's over. It's safe to say these books have generally been terrible. At least we got a pun out of it, hey? So, I'm exhausted. I think what we've established here is that Kylie Jenner has potentially, actually there's nothing potential about it, definitely has the worst taste in books known to humankind. It's actually insane. And if you thought this was like 10 to 15 minutes of your life you'll never get back, think how many hours I spent reading those books. Hours! And they were just horrible. I hope that there's something you can take away from this. Maybe don't buy these particular books. But then again, Kylie Jenner's bank balance probably looks like a phone number, whereas mine looks like the number someone would have on Squid Game. So who's the real winner here? It certainly isn't me. But cheers for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Of course, a huge shout out to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. If you want to head to the link, it's betterhelp, HELP.com/Edwards to get 10% off your first month. Link is down below. All the best, stay in touch, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye!